We're about to have the pole position qualifying session out there on the Sicilian water for the very first time. We've got 10 entrants, new pilots, new throttlemen, new names hitting this Xcat World Championship. It is going to be the most single exciting qualifying session ever seen. Let's see how it goes.
I'm really happy to finish in second place, but all session I'm staying first. But only at final round of the pole position, number 22, we take the position number 1.
What a pole position qualifying session we've just had out there on the Sicilian waters. There were twists, turns and excitement, but in the end it was boat number 22 of Consulbrokers that will take pole position for tomorrow's race. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Grand Prix of Palermo here in Sicily. You join us with the Xcats hitting the Sicilian surf. as we welcome the Xcat Grand Prix to Sicily for the very first time. If you joined us yesterday for qualifying, you will know that it has been already an afternoon and evening and entire weekend, I would say, full of drama and upsets. Our pole sitters for today's Grand Prix, boat number 22, Consulbrokers, and they were more than enthusiastic and happy about what happened there. And as we get ready for this start, I welcome back the man to my right, and it is Mr. John Tutsinis. And I know I said your name wrong. You're welcome.
Very wrong, but that's quite all right, Stu. Good to be back with you.
So we have had an awful lot of heat. We had a small delay in starting because the world's biggest ferry was entering into port here in Palermo. Just a reminder from yesterday, this is one of the busiest ports in the Mediterranean, and so we thought it would be a wonderful location to host the Xcat World Championship. But what we will have in front of you will be the standard start. But if you are new to the Xcat, we have the pack broken up into starting gates. So, of course, our pole sitter, Consulbrokers, followed by HPI Fugera Racing Team and 222 Offshore, have the best advantage, having finished in the top 3 positions for qualifying. And then it'll be split into a further 2 groups, gradually going down to the boats that unfortunately couldn't head out for qualifying, John.
Quite right. So we'll be followed by Faz Marine, Sweetcat, and Blue Banker. And then the third group with Aurelio, Victory Team, and Team GB.
Yes, so Team GB have hit the water, Q8 Oils have hit the water as well, and you can see on your screens there the Pace Cat. It's an Xcat, but a convertible Xcat. There are absolutely nothing between you and the element. So it's the Pace Cat that will arrange the pole sitters, and you can just see the 4 breaking away there. Faz Marine getting somewhat ahead of their station. Aurelio there in your screen. Jan Corteland and Francis Nocella making up the crew there. They had a really good practice session earlier today. They got loads and loads of laps in, which was exactly what they needed. And the team managers are waiting patiently. And then the flag will come up from Pasquale in just a second. And then when the flag disappears, we'll be good to go.
So yellow flag, so slowly they'll start accelerating.
I don't know if it's that slowly, John. It looks pretty quick from over here. And now green flag, green flag. So it is being waved manically, and the race here is underway. The 2024 UIM Xcat World Championship second round here in Palermo is underway, and it'll take around about a lap for everything to become clear, but don't worry everybody, we will talk you through it. But it does look like Consulbrokers have made the best start, with HPI Fugera Racing on the left hand side just being disguised by the rooster tail, but Victory have come from all the way at the back near enough. Remember, they came into this weekend as leaders of the 2024 UIM Xcat World Championship. They have seen an early opportunity. They are neck and neck with Consulbrokers, Alfredo Amato and Roberto Lopiano, and there is the safety and management crew looking diligently through their binoculars to see what is happening out on the water. But Consulbrokers have managed to hold the Victory surge right in their wake, and Consulbrokers have made a very positive start here, but they've bogged down just slightly as we head down back towards the beach now. And there in the background is the rest of the pack, John.
A bit of a wide turn from HPI Fugera Racing Team there. Let's see how they follow. Still in third position, and I think Sweetcat is hot on their tails on the far right.
Sweetcat have somehow managed to limp their way to the race in free practice earlier today. I can't remember which one of their engines it was, port or starboard, one of the two, was absolutely decimated. But it's Consulbrokers that are taking the headlines at the moment. They were over the moon to be pole sitters yesterday, and they've been waiting for the right chemistry to come together so that they could actually make the most of this championship. But Sweatcat have made an absolute blast of a start, and there's Faz Marine. You can see just how bumpy it is for Arif and Nadir in Faz Marine because the boat is struggling to get its power down. all the time Consulbrokers stretching out in the lead, but you can just see the difference that a race makes to the water compared to qualifying. It's just so much more disturbed, but Consulbrokers cementing themselves from the start. So just a reminder, this is a full race lap situation. So we're going to have 13 laps. The starting lap has obviously gone, and then we have 2 long laps, don't we, John?
You're quite right. The 2 long laps are mandatory. First one has to be done from the beginning of lap 3, and the second one needs to be done by the end of the race.
That's right, and there are penalties if the long laps are not completed, and the long lap does add an awful lot of time to a lap. So you're looking at around about 20 seconds to 25 seconds worth of gap needed if it's not going to impact you, and this is where Xcat stops being a race and starts being a game of chess.
So overall, we have Consulbrokers in first position, followed by Victory Team in second, 222 Offshore in third, the Swedes Xcat in fourth, Aurelio in fifth, Faz Marine in sixth, HPI Racing Team in seventh, and QA Oils in last position. What do you think of the standings so far, Stu? Anything?
Well, it looks like Consulbrokers have popped an engine, John.
Ooh.
That is them most definitely out of the race. It could just be that they need to restart the engines. Alfredo Amato and Roberto Lopiano, they will be devastated with this.
Ooh, that is a massive shame for Alfredo. Started so well, did so well in pole. But do you think that was just a matter of miscommunication, perhaps, rather than technical difficulty?
Could be. I mean, it happens on occasion where there is a technical malfunction, and the only way to rectify the issue is literally turn the boat off and turn it all back on again. But Victory capitalising on that issue. Remember, they won the last race in Fujairah, but they are leading the World Championship by a whisker from Xcat, and it is now Xcat that have moved their way up into second position. What an absolute corker for the first few laps of this Gran Premio di Sicilia here in Palermo, and thank you once again to the Regione di Sicilia for welcoming us all here. But I will endorse the region later on because there's an awful lot of action left to go, John.
That is actually quite impressive on behalf of Xcat jumping into second position. That said, with the long laps that everyone has to take, since mandatory, things might change quite rapidly.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've just been informed by race control that boat number 7, the leader of this race, Victory, are currently under investigation for a false start. Jumping the gun, we call it. So it looks like they might have throttled up before they should have done so. Salim Al-Adidi, Isa Al-Ali, a fantastic crew, very experienced, and they are here to win. But if it is found post-investigation that they did in fact jump the start, the penalty could be severe enough that if they then go on, and there's an awful lot of this race yet to go, if they then go on to win, that win might be taken away from them. I doubt it would be a disqualification, John. I think it would probably just be, in this case, a time penalty, which can be anywhere between 5 seconds and a minute, depending on how severe they think it is. And just to note, Team GB do not appear to be on the water. I said we had a full contingent out there, but it looks like we don't. So the defending world champions haven't managed to get themselves onto the water in time. They were out for testing earlier, and I wonder if they just didn't manage to get it together. I know quite a lot of the fans of Team GB are currently watching this on their holidays in Turkey. So hello to everybody at home. Sorry that your team aren't out there for you to support, but I'm sure you're cheering for the UIM Xcat World Championship of 2024 all the same. And if you're not, well, commiserations, have a beer on me. I'll read out my credit card details when we're not live on air. Not that there's any money in it anyway. But as it stands, Victory are taking advantage of Consulbrokers being out, and the top 8 look to be pretty solidified before long laps are taken, John.
Mm-hmm. So currently in lap 3, we have Victory Team in first position, followed by Xcat in second, 222 Offshore in third, Consulbrokers in fourth, HPI Fujairah Racing Team in fifth, QA Oils in sixth, Faz Marine in seventh, and Aurelio in 8th, and Aurelio has decided to take their long lap quite early on.
And so has Blue Banker, who are, interestingly, sat in 9th place because they were very, very competitive towards the end of qualifying.
I mean, I'd imagine since both of them standing in 8th and 9th position respectively, it's probably a smart idea to get the long laps out the way and then go racing. If perhaps Victory, Suica, 222 Offshore will choose to take their long laps further down the line, they can capitalize on that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that is a smart decision from the team management at Aurelio and Blue Banker. If you're wondering where these names come from, well, like most of motorsport, we are lucky enough to go racing due to very kind partners who we exchange money for fun. So thank you very much. Blue Banker, financial service institution here in Italy. Aurelio, the team with Jan Corteland and Francis Nocella, clothing brand. I'm a little bit too old now to be seen in that clothing brand, but they trust me, it looks good. Probably for a slightly better figure than mine, unfortunately. But Victory Team still leading the way, and the boat from Dubai doing very well in these what is becoming increasingly choppy waters. And I just want to take a minute to talk about the heat, John.
It's very hot, Stu. That's all I can say.
It's very hot. You're here in a top with no sleeves, which I think is the brightest thing you've done in a long time. I, on the other hand, lost about 14 kilos prior to this race standing in the heat. And it's very warm for us, but of course our job is arguably, in fact, definitely much easier than the teams and crews in the boat and on land managing them. It is incredibly warm. It's getting up to 70 degrees in the cockpits, and I wouldn't want to be in there, but it adds to the complexity of this championship, and particularly the Grand Prix here in Palermo.
So we have Suicat with Sebastian Groth and Erik Sundblad Johansen currently in 2nd position, hot on Victory Team's tails. I wonder what the investigation, what will be the result of that. Might switch everything up once more.
Yeah, I wonder when Josephine, who is the team manager of Suicat, I wonder when she will make the decision to bring them in for the long lap. It may well be an undercut situation for Sebastian and Eric. Eric does, I mean, just looking at that left-hander there, that was beautiful. Eric really does throw the boat into the corners, and Seba just has to trust that he knows what he's doing. And he does, the Norwegian-Swedish duo. And we have a long lap that has been...
Correct. 222 Offshore has decided to take their long lap in lap 4 of the UIM Xcat World Championship Palermo GP. As you were saying, Josephine has quite a task on her hand. Obviously, Victory Team are under investigation. Is it wise to take the long lap now, wait for the result of that?
Possibly. I mean, the thing is, it is all a game of chess. The boat looks like it's running really, really well. We've just been informed by Race Control that Consulbrokers are also going to be using their long, or taking one of their long laps, which does make sense. So,
well, they are currently, funny enough, although they were in 1st position, are all the way back in the pack. So wise decision to get that out the way.
Yeah, super wise decision. And just a moment to talk about Rosario and Giuseppe Schiano, the brothers from Napoli in HPI Fugera Racing Team. They had a really strong qualifying session. They're always really good to talk to, and they were feeling pretty buoyed about their performance yesterday, and they did say to us earlier on that they are pretty confident. So the fact that they've managed to get their way up the pack after a bit of a dodgy start is fantastic to see. Remember, you can see plenty of behind the scenes and more from the drivers, the teams and the areas that we visit by watching our highlights and documentary programming after every single Grand Prix. And remember to follow the UIM Xcat World Championship on your favourite social media platform because there is an awful lot to see, and you will get your power boating fix. And there we see Rosario and Giuseppe, the boat looking pretty settled now, John, as they lean into this race, and this is exactly what we want to see. The middle of the race, everything starts to settle down. The drivers and the throttlemen start to manage their Xcat a little bit more within the conditions, and then as we head towards the final 3 or 4 laps, much like a Grand Prix that you might see on land, the action starts to hot up considerably more, doesn't it, John?
Indeed. So as the standings currently, Victory Team in first position, followed by Sweetcat in second, HPI Racing Team in third, Faz Marine in fourth, QA Oils in fifth, Blue Panca in sixth, followed by Aurelio, 222 Offshore, and last but not least, Consulbrokers.
Yeah, so we see there that what the long laps have managed to do to the positioning. Faz Marine have decided to take their long lap, and they're currently running in fourth. But in this particular course, the long lap does really take a hatchet into your time, and not in the good way. It's more like felling a time tree rather than taking a bite out of a lovely time apple and getting yourself further up the pack. And it's made a bit of a dent in Aurelio, 222 Offshore, and Consulbrokers have really suffered, but to the benefit of HPI Fugera Racing Team, Rosario and Giuseppe, they will be hot on the heels of the leading pack of Sweatcat and Victory. But Sweatcat have managed to get around Victory as we head through the timing, boys, and Sweatcat have powered through. Now, considering their engine, and it was a port engine, I've just remembered, and quick nautical thing, port, left, because it has the same number of letters as the word left.
That's a really nice factoid.
And starboard is right, because it has, an easy way to remember that is it has more letters than port. So that's a little trick.
Makes sense.
A Royal Marine taught me that after I mistakenly labelled him as being in the army. But the British Royal Marines, of course, are in the Navy. I had to drink a very strong pint as a forfeit. But anyway, less about the Royal Marines celebrating their 360th year this year, and more about the UIM Xcat World Championship of 2024 as Sweetcat take the lead from Victory Team, who are currently under investigation for a false start. But that doesn't matter one jot to the team from Stockholm, well, just outside of Stockholm. And Josephine will be very happy with her team, and Eric, the Norwegian, with Seba, the Swede, doing the business and bringing it home, potentially for Scandinavia. So an absolute move there. Of course, long laps will still have to come into play, but at the moment, not only has Sweatcat taken the lead, they are also extending that lead. And you can just see the orange t-shirt there of one of the Sweatcat members of the team watching patiently on, and in the backdrop of Sweatcat firing away into the lead, you have the beautiful vista of Palermo, the capital of Sicily, or Sicilia I should say, here in beautiful southern Italy. We are pretty much at the southernmost tip of Italy, and Victory have decided to take their long lap, John. So they are cutting their losses.
Quite right. So in lap 6, we have Sweetcat in first position, Victory Team in second, HPI Fugera Racing Team held by brothers Schiano Di Cola in third, QA Oils in fourth, Faz Marine in fifth, Blue Banca in sixth, Aurelio in seventh, Consulbrokers on eighth, and 222 Offshore in ninth.
And I wonder if 222 Offshore might have a bit of an issue. And I base that on the fact that I've seen a couple of the 222 Offshore fan group leaving the shoreline. So it is just my hunch, nothing more. But Sweatcat are sweeping away. I was trying to get that in with Swee, but it wasn't really happening. The competition, but they do have to take some long laps.
Sweeping away the competition?
Yeah, that'll work.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
I'll do better next time.
Yeah, it's okay, mate. We're all warming up. But there is boat number 3 of Faz Marine, and the legendary crew of Arif and Nadir. They were world champions in 2021, that crew. The boat, of course, and the team dubbed Dubai Police for the championship that year, and they have been competitive every single time, haven't they, John?
Quite right. And QA Oils of Abdulatif Al Omani and Khalid Ali have worked their way up to second position. I believe they've also completed one long lap as well, so they're in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, they're in a really strong position. I remember when we were in Italy last year, they podiumed at the Grand Premio. That's just me mixing French, English and Italian. The Gran Premio de Basilicata in southern Italy, and they were over the moon with that. Sometimes they have a very strong weekend, sometimes they can't quite get their Xcat to what the level really that they expect. But yeah, as you say, Abdulatif and Khalid have managed to really sew together a beautiful Sicilian scarf here, and they are draping it over their shoulders quite well and marching on. So QA Oils with HPI Fugera Racing Team behind them, and I think we might see a couple of changes yet. And boat 22 has been given a long lap penalty. That is Consulbrokers. They are having a terrible afternoon, John.
Quite right. Currently in 7th position. They hit a boy, is it?
They hit a boy. Yeah. So not only are they given a penalty, they're going to get a fine.
So perhaps dropping from first position, you know, the nerves got to them. It kind of didn't work out.
Yeah, I think they've... I mean, there's all sorts of things. It's so tough to get these Xcats doing what you need to do. The every single crew makes it look really, really easy. But the reality is these are absolute juggernauts of machines. They are designed to go very, very, very fast. And in fact, Aurelio yesterday, boat number 88, they posted the fastest time in terms of how quick they were going. And we've just been told by, and this is why I trailed off a little bit there, because my ability to multi-skill is really not up there with the best. It looks like boat number 7, the investigation has been concluded, and they got away with it.
Yeah, quite right. So it seems they have been cleared, so they can start making their way back up the pack. Consulbrokers have also done their performed one of their long laps. Xcat, currently in first position, have performed no long laps. Is it wise for them to leave it this far in? Can they build enough of a lead to take those later on in the...
Well, they've got about 30 seconds over QA Oils at the moment, but they're going to have to take their long lap relatively soon as Aurelio go in for their second long lap. And
right.
This might be a bit of a touch, because the boats ahead of them do need to take their laps, and you kind of find sometimes, John, that long laps are like dominoes. Mm-hmm. Once one falls, the whole pack falls.
And Blue Banca, helmed by Serafino Barlesi and Andrea Comello, who were also having a little photo shoot in the office.
They
Very
were
handsome gentlemen.
Yeah, annoyingly so, actually. But, you know, we can't all be blessed.
Are currently in 6th position. So overall, we're in lap 8 with Xcat cementing the first position. QA Oils in 2nd. HPI Fugera Racing Team in 3rd. Faz Marine in 4th. Victory Team in 5th. And we've just received info that Xcat are taking their first long lap. Let's see how that works out. Consulbrokers in 7th, Aurelio in 8th, and 222 Offshore in last position.
Yeah, I think 222 Offshore have removed themselves from the race. They must have suffered a mechanical issue heading into one of their laps. But yeah, Xcat taking their long lap, not a bad decision at all. We will see whether 30 seconds is enough to keep them in first position when they complete that longer lap. So we will see.
Ooh, and QA Oils deciding to take their second long lap. Probably wise. They probably noticed that Xcat took theirs. They're like, we might as well get both of them out the way and fight it out later on.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. They are cat and mousing it, but they've got another sting in the tail potentially coming from the form of the brothers Sciano de Cola, because HPI Fugera Racing Team, boat number 96, they're still hanging around in third, John. They're not going anywhere fast.
It seems they're playing the waiting game, playing the long game, and kind of come out of the woodworks when it suits them best.
Yeah, they're like a little woodworm from Naples. You just can't ever quite get rid of them, which is great for us as spectators of the sport, but not so good for their competitors, because there they have, and they've managed to actually get the balance of the boat quite nicely. As the Xcats have started to spread out, the course has started to settle somewhat. So this is actually good for, really, I'd say 50% of this grid. Faz Marine, they like it settled. Q8 Oils, weirdly enough, for a team from the Middle East, they like it a little bit choppier because of the general design of the boat. But it's going to really play into the hands at the moment of Rosario and Giuseppe.
And HPI Racing Team have made their way into second position, capitalizing on QA Oils taking their second long lap. But I feel like QA Oils will manage to probably regain that position after they complete their second one.
Yeah, I mean, we're starting to see the top three run away from it just ever so slightly. I wonder if Faz Marine have got a bit of a wild card up their I imagine, very warm sleeve at this moment in time. But it's going to be a wild finish. We're currently just about halfway through this Gran Premio di Sicilia in Palermo, and we have got Xcat currently leading the race. Remember, they won the very first Grand Prix of this 2024 UIM Xcat World Championship, and they will be wanting to cement their place at the top of the leaderboard, because as it stands at the moment, if it finishes like this, they will leave the weekend leading the World Championship, and they have been coming on great guns.
Quite right. So Xcat in first position, HPI Racing Team in second, QA Oils in third, Faz Marine in fourth, Blue Banker in fifth, Victory Team in sixth position, followed by Consulbrokers in seventh, Aurelio in eighth, and 222 Offshore in last position.
Yeah, so 222 Offshore have definitely gone back to the pits. We'll find out post-race what the issue has been there, as we will do the same with Team GB. Not the best weekend for them, unfortunately, and as is so often the way in sport, is very cruel, but definitely not their fault, we imagine. So we will have to have a catch-up with them. But we had a very similar scene last year with Team GB. In fact, they had a weekend where they didn't score any points at all, but they still managed to walk away with the World Championship at the end of that 2023 year in Dubai. So down, but most certainly not out, we imagine. But that is going to be a story and a headline for another day. But right now, it is Xcat who are writing all the headlines as Consulbrokers run their second long lap, as do Blue Banker. They are coming in as well for their long lap.
Interesting. So now we have overall Aurelio doing 2 long laps.
Yeah.
And Will.
So we've had Aurelio, Blue Banker are doing their second long lap. Consulbrokers on their second long lap as well, along with... yeah, I mean, that's it. That's it.
So it seems the drivers in the bottom of the pack have decided to complete all of their long laps in advance, whilst the leaders of the pack have only completed about one each.
Yeah.
That might be a bit tricky towards the end of the race.
It's going to get real tasty real quick towards the end of the race, because we've got but 7 laps remaining as it stands, and they need to take a long lap before the end. So it's going to be pretty dicey, but I'll tell you who's in prime position. That boat number 3, Faz Marine, they are going to have to take a long lap, but let's do some quick mathematics. QA Oils doing another lap in the long division are going to end up bumping down behind Faz Marine. HPI are going to have to take a long lap. Xcat are going to have to take another long lap. So this top 4 certainly could zip around quite quickly. Equally, Faz Marine have to take a long lap. Blue Banker might find themselves very suddenly up into the podium places and may even drag victory with them as well. Consulbrokers, the team and boat that started this weekend in pole, might be a little bit too far out. But we've just had notification, John, that another long lap has been called in.
Indeed, HPI Fujairah Racing Team, helmed by brothers Schiano Di Cola, have entered their second long lap. That's probably the very wise decision, currently in second place.
Yeah, okay. Now we're hotting up.
Let's say I imagine the pressure is on Sweetcat now to decide when the second long lap, when would it be the best time to take it.
Yeah, absolutely, because Faz Marine have also just called in a long lap. So it could be very costly for boat number 2, the chaps in orange. They are going to have to call in their long lap now. There is no two ways about it. They're going to find themselves in a tricky situation. Alternatively, and this is why I sit here and not in there, is because they could be looking to build such a lead that if they can get 35 seconds on HPI, Q8, Faz Marine and Blue Bank, I mean they're miles ahead of Blue Bank to be honest, then they will find themselves in a very good position indeed. So, as we head through lap 11, Swecat, HPI Fujairah Racing Team, Q8 Oils, Abdul Latif doing a magic job there, Faz Marine, Blue Banker, Victory, who did not jump the start and are currently leading the 2024 UIM Xcat World Championship. Consulbrokers, who were coming into this Grand Prix as pole sitters in 7th, Aurelio, the Benelux boat, currently in 8th, and 222 Offshore, who made it to the start but don't look like they're going to make it to the finish, John.
It's quite interesting looking at the pole position results. We had Consulbrokers, the fastest of the pack, not doing as well as they would hope for. HPI Fujairah Racing Team, second in pole, are currently in 3rd position, so they're keeping up with their performance quite well. 222 Offshore in 3rd, unfortunately out of the race, and Faz Marine in 4th, currently in 4th in race 2 as well. So, and we have Sweetcat deciding to take their long lap. Interesting.
Yeah, that called it. This is probably for the best. So Josephine on the shore will have decided that they've built up enough of a lead, and now is the time to come in, take that long lap, and then try and come out ahead of the chasing pack. Because if they can do that, then they will be in a very strong position.
I imagine there'll be a bit of a fight going on between Q8 Oils and HPI Fujairah Racing Team now that Sweetcat have entered their long lap. Abdul Latif Al-Omani and Khalid Ali currently on our screens, putting the pedal to the metal.
Yeah, the team from Q8 doing a sterling job here in the waters of the Mediterranean. And it is a swelteringly hot day here in Palermo, as it has been all weekend, and that has posed its own problems.
That was some lovely handling from Abdul Latif.
It really was, but look how close HPI are now to that Kuwaiti boat. They are chomping at the bit. They've managed to just get out of their wake, find themselves a nice, actually a really smooth patch of water there that their dug right hull will lap up in front of them. They have taken the corner beautifully. That throttle is maxed out. They are hanging on for dear life in there, but they want second position from Q8 Oils, and that right-hander from Q8 looked good. HPI took the buoy really close there, and as we head through the timing, they will be chewing into Q8 Oils' small and slender advantage.
Q8 Oils feeling the pressure. HPI Fujairah Racing Team with some expert handling, and as you said, have managed to find a nice little patch of calm water. But look at that turn.
That's beautiful, because what you have to do is throttle down, allow the front of the Xcat just to bog down just a little bit, create that friction on the water so that it wipes some of the speed off, and then turn it on a sixpence.
Ooh, turning into a bit of a drag race between HPI and Q8.
This is what we love to see. This is why the Xcat calls us back for more. We have got less cats, more lions in the Serengeti firing themselves down the back of this course. And you can see in the background there the port of Palermo. Very busy, but very lovely for a night out in the marina.
So overall we have Sweet Cat still in first position, Q8 Oils in second, HPI Fujairah Racing Team in third, Faz Marine in fourth, Blue Banca in fifth, Victory Team in sixth, Consulbrokers in seventh, Aurelio in eighth, and 222 Offshore last and out of the race.
Yeah, unfortunate there for 222 Offshore, but we've got, it looks like Consulbrokers there just struggling a little bit. It might be a reoccurrence of the issue they had earlier. I mean, it really looks like they're pushing both of those Mercury ROS engines at the back there. It's not working.
Yeah, they're
for
struggling. They're really struggling. So unfortunate for Alfredo and Roberto. They had a great outing in the pole position session yesterday, but didn't work out today.
No, it looks like they've had a reoccurrence of the issue, because it looks like they turned everything off, rebooted the Xcat, and now they are on their way again. This is just, I mean, it could be anything. It could be little gremlins. It could well be issues that you have due to the heat. But Xcat have caught up with Aurelio, boat number 88, and could well lap them here. They're going to have to pull gently off to the side so that they can allow Xcat to get round. So Xcat have still managed to retain the lead after their long lap, which is exactly what they want to see here. Sebastian and Eric called a blinder here. Well, actually, it was Josephine, wasn't it? The team manager that called a blinder here. But number two, Xcat, currently leading the Gran Premio di Sicilia.
Ooh, that was a really close turn. Really close.
You don't want to take a boy with you there. It would be pretty bad. And of course, it wipes off not just speed, but also a touch off your bank balance as well.
All right, Aurelio, a bit of a disappointing performance. I think on their behalf, they probably expected a bit more out of them.
Yeah, I mean, they're a new crew pairing. They're both very, very experienced. Jan Korteland, who's, if it goes on water and goes quickly, he has piloted most of it. He's had an awful lot of success over the years, but it takes time to get used to these Xcat machines, particularly if you're used to piloting something different. But Aurelio there, flying under the Belgian flag, and they will come back stronger for sure. And this is still, you've got to remember, from an Xcat perspective, a very inexperienced crew. So the fact that they're out there, the boat is performing well, they're getting some good speed overall as well. This is not a disappointment, more a learning experience, I would say.
Absolutely. So currently we have Sweet Cat still in first position, Q8 Oils in second, HPI Fujairah Racing Team in third, Faz Marine in fourth, Victory Team in fifth, Consulbrokers in sixth, Aurelio in seventh, Blue Banca in eighth, and 222 Offshore out of the race.
And there we see Josephine Dubois, the team manager of Xcat, and with those distinctive sunglasses.
She's looking pretty pumped, eh?
She's looking pumped.
And then you have Daddy Sciano Di Cola on the right of HPI Fujairah Racing Team. Wonder what he's telling his boys right now in the cockpit.
I don't know, but he's looking slightly less pumped than he usually is. But engrossed. And there we go. He's talking to the boys, giving them direction from the coast, and trying to edge his lads along. And they're doing well.
Q8 Oils entering their last long lap. Currently in second position. I imagine HPI Fujairah Racing Team will manage to steal that away from them.
Yep, absolutely. So Q8 Oils having to take their second long lap, and they don't have enough of a time advantage as it stands to come out of that long lap in that second position. So unless something goes drastically wrong for HPI and ridiculously right for Q8 Oils, the positions will almost certainly switch.
You know, big props to Seba and Eric, obviously handling the boat, but even bigger props to Josephine. I think her decision making so far in this race has been absolutely stupendous.
Yeah, what a lovely long set of words.
College word.
There, that is a primo degree word there. Well done, mate. But you're absolutely right. You know, the start from the crew was fantastic. You know, and everybody back in the paddock, being able to put the engine together again. Equally, it really is a team sport. You know, it's not just the two guys in the cockpit. It's everybody on shore and back at home, and the partners. It really takes a village, if you like. And whether the village has a small blue Lambretta or not, we'll never know. But it really does take a village to get an Xcat team on the water. An awful lot of heads need to come together. But Aurelio there have found a little bit of form, and boat 88 there
gliding through the water. They are currently in 7th position. Maybe we'll be able to make their way up the pack. They have Consulbrokers and Victory Team in front of them. Might be a bit of a fight.
Definitely a bit of a fight. I mean, Victory have done well getting back into 5th place. They won't be happy with that, but this is a long championship. We still have more weekends and more rounds to come, and so you just need to keep banking the points. You just need to get out there and put more in the blue banker.
Well, I like what you did there. Well, Team GB is a good testament to that. I mean, last year from zero to hero, understatement, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I think back to Pastici, where they literally had one engine, but they just went round the course because they knew that they were going to get points. And that ultimately paid off at the end of the year. So it's exactly the same here with absolutely everybody. We're not going to make a champion here in Palermo. Mm-hmm. We'll get winners and we'll get good performances and performances that might need a little bit of improvement. But overall, what happens here may go some way to determining the championship, but it won't decide the championship. That is further throughout the year of this 2024 UIM Xcat World Championship. And there we have boat number 22 of Consulbrokers, who were on pole after yesterday's qualifying. A great performance from them, and the whole team were seriously buoyed by the whole performance, and rightly so. But they seem to have managed to get their technical issues under control.
Actually, they're chasing the rest of the pack. They were in 8th, managed to claw their way back to 5th. That's a pretty impressive driving from Alfredo Amato and Roberto Lopiano.
Yeah, it really is, you know, because you could have easily just given up and gone home the first time you had engine trouble, let alone the second time. But they have managed to get themselves together and put in a super, super strong performance. But at the moment, it is Xcat that are taking the plaudits. They've taken their long laps. We have a couple of laps left. So very soon we will see the Pace Cat re-emerge into the circuit and sit roughly on the timing line. Boys, always change it up. And we will see, first of all, the white flag and then a checkered flag. And it is the checkered flag that we are invested in right now, because Xcat are putting together one heck of a performance.
Quite right. So Xcat in first position, HPI Fujairah Racing Team in second, the Kuwaitis QA Oils in third, followed by Faz Marine in fourth, Consulbrokers in fifth, Victory Team in sixth, followed by Aurelio in seventh, Blue Banca in 8th, and Triple 2 Offshore in last position and out of the race.
Yeah, this is going to be a hot final seven.
Faz Marine making their way up to third position.
Look at that. So Faz Marine in the final podium position as it stands. A fantastic showing from the team from Dubai. Xcat looking rather relaxed at the front there.
Cheeky little grin over there.
Yeah, Josephine behind, definitely dialed into the race as we should do. But we've just seen the Pace Cat move to the checkered buoy, and that is where we are going to be taking most of our attention, and that is going to be a flag waving situation in the next lap or two.
Quite right. Faz Marine, very impressed by their performance. I mean, that is why we call them the legends. Victory Team now entering their last long lap. Currently in 6th position, probably won't make too much of a difference at this point.
No, but I know that Jan and Francis in Aurelio will be looking to climb up the board as much as possible. This will put points in the bank, and they will be happy with that before we head off to our next destination of the 2022. Come on, I've skipped 2 years somewhere. 2024 UIM Xcat World Championship.
You feeling a bit nostalgic, are you, Stu?
I'm trying to think what happened in 2022 that made me feel so happy. But that is the penultimate lap of this race being signalled from the Pace Cat. So Xcat are now odds on. I'm touching wood. I don't want to give them the commentator's curse to take their second ever victory of this UIM Xcat World Championship, and 2 out of 3 they would make it if they can make it around this course. I do not want to jinx any of the crews.
I imagine Eric and Seba now in full stoic mode, just going. I'm pretty confident that they'll manage to get this victory. They have it in the bag, pretty sure.
You can say that, I won't, but they just hit a massive swell there. They would have felt that through the bottom of their spines. The boats, the Xcats here have got padding, a little bit of spring-loaded driver's seats and throttleman seats, so hopefully it's not too bad. But that penultimate flag being waved with aplomb there, actually, very well done. I don't know if I could stand at the end of the Pace Cat and do that with such style and poise.
That's it. So as it stands, we have Xcat in first position, HPI Racing Team in second, Faz Marine in third, QA Oils in fourth, Consulbrokers in fifth, Aurelio in sixth, Victory Team in seventh, Blue Banca in eighth, and 222 Offshore in last position.
So we've just seen Blue Banca go through the timing beacon, Xcat taking it very gently there. This is always a bit of a sweaty moment, not just because of the heat. It's towards the end of the race. It all gets very, very, very nervy, but we're seeing some fantastic 8 Xcat. Yeah, it's going. There we go. I was going to say Xcat positioning, but my words disappeared because I'm just willing all of the remaining Xcats to cross the line. But as they come around the corner here, they are going to be aiming their Xcat missile towards the timing boys and being completely dialed in, John.
Quite right, and we should be seeing the checkered flag being waved quite soon. I don't think the commentator's curse worked this time around.
Well, you don't want it to, John. You don't want it to. You want everything to go smoothly from our perspective. But there is number 2, Xcat.
So Sebastian Groth and Erik Sublad Johansen in first position. Getting there slowly.
I mean, the tension is palpable. All eyes on Xcat as they head towards the finishing line. And our winner of the 2024 UIM Xcat World Championship Gran Premio di Sicilia here in Palermo is boat number 2. It's Xcat.
And Josephine looking over the moon with that.
The cat that got the cream. That is Xcat.
Good effort, good effort.
And it looks like HPI are now over the line to claim the second position. We just had to wait for a lapped boat to get out of the way. Great result for Xcat. They work super hard, they all do, but what a result.
And the team from Faz Marine congratulating the Swedish team, Xcat, on their performance. And now really crossing the line. Victory team, not the best performance on their behalf.
No, but our podium is set. We have Xcat, who are going to be leaving here really happy with their performance. HPI Fugera Racing Team in second, and Faz Marine in third. Water, throw us water. That is what Eric is saying. And there's... Yeah,
Bless
pop
him.
your life jacket away, Seba. You'll be fine, mate. I think you're safe.
Bless them. They must be absolutely exhausted after that race. I mean, we're in the commentator's box. There is an AC, but we're also melting slowly. So I can imagine how it is being in their position.
Look at that, Eric just dousing himself in water, and Seba as well. I mean, it is seriously warm in those Xcats. But what a fantastic Grand Prix we have been served here in Palermo in Sicily. It has been a fantastic week and of course a fantastic weekend here in Palermo. There's been plenty for us to eat, drink and enjoy, just like I think Rosario and Giuseppe will be doing. But they don't look particularly happy. I'm glad I don't speak Italian and I can't lip read. I think they're talking about being cut up at a certain point.
Yeah, it seems like they're complaining to the officials about something indeed. They are in second position, so very good results on their behalf.
Great result. It's a long championship, but we're just waiting now for QA Oils just to come to a steady stop as they go through the timing beacon. Of course, the course gets absolutely spread out as the race goes on, and that is what we're talking about as they just come up to the timing line, and they will finish this Grand Prix in fourth. Not a bad result for them at all after a no-show due to a technical issue in qualifying yesterday. So a fantastic performance from Abdul Latif and Khalid there. Really, really happy with that. So, what did you think of that one as it still goes on in front of us, to be fair?
Intense. I was a bit worried with Sweet Cat. They were leading the pack for quite a while, but I was a bit worried about when they would decide to take the long laps. Josephine did make it work. Very impressed by Faz Marine as well. I did not expect them on the podium. They seem pretty cemented in fourth. And gutting for Consulbrokers, 222 Offshore. I thought they'd be higher up the pack in this race.
Yeah, and we've spoken both on commentary and while we've been out in the city of Palermo, enjoying some of the arancini and other bits and bobs that we've been lucky enough to sample while we've been here. Just talking about the pack, talking about the championship this year, and obviously about this Grand Prix as well. And it has thrown up quite a few surprises, and that's not a bad thing for the championship. It is overwhelmingly a positive because we've seen Swicat take 2 of the 3 victories so far, putting themselves in a super strong position ahead of the rest of this year. And I'm sure there will be plenty more twists and turns across the rest of this 2024 UIM Xcat World Championship. Seba and Eric there just waiting to receive their checkered flag, as is tradition. And there we have it. It'll make a fantastic photo. And do make sure that you follow the Xcat social media pages across your favourite social media platform of choice to make sure that you catch up with what the winning team have to say from the podium. But as we see the Gran Premio di Sicilia here in Palermo come to a close, what are your final thoughts, John, on what you've witnessed here today and yesterday?
Well, first off, incredible city, incredible racing, an incredible co-presenter, incredible production team. Big props to all of them for the amazing shots they managed to provide us. Made our life and our job a lot easier, eh?
I completely agree. Let me just echo those sentiments. A fantastic job from everybody involved, from organisers, production crew, and of course the racers themselves. But from Palermo, we have to say a massive well done to Swicat, who leave here as winners of the inaugural Gran Premio di Sicilia in Palermo. Thank you to all of you, wherever you may be in the world, for watching and being a fan of this incredible championship. And so from me, Stuart Borro, thank you ever so much.
And from myself, John, thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in.
Thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will see you at the next round of the 2024 UIM Xcat World Championship.